Welcome to the online classes, children. Class 6th Science. In the previous class, we were discussing about separation of mixtures. We have seen how to separate insoluble solid from a mixture. We have seen how to separate heavy insoluble solids like mud, mud mixed with water. It can be separated by sedimentation decantation. You have seen the process of settling down of heavy suspended particle in a liquid is called sedimentation. The process of separating the sediment without disturbing the clean liquid is called decantation. Now, certain situations where we cannot use sedimentation decantation because the particles in the mixture are not, the solid particles are not heavy enough to settle down. So we use the method called filtration. Filtration is the process where the liquid mixture is allowed to pass through a strainer. You have seen how tea leaves are being stained by using the stainer in the house. Also, you have seen in an activity I told you how a filter paper is used in the laboratory for separating. Through the filter paper, only the liquid particles passes, whereas the solid particles are caught up. So that was all about insoluble solid to separate from a liquid solid mixture. Now today we will discuss soluble solids. For example, soluble solids, you know that salt, sugar, etc. are soluble in water. So today we will discuss that separation of soluble solid. One of the commonest method is evaporation. Simple method employed for the separation of soluble solid from a liquid solid mixture is called evaporation. The meaning of evaporation is the process of changing a liquid into its vapor state. Now, this process is carried out for the separation of common salt from seawater. In large scale, this is employed. So today I'll share the screen showing evaporation. This is all about the topic separation of mixtures. How mixtures containing different ingredients can be separated. Okay, children. So just wait for a few minutes and I'm sharing the screen with you. Okay, look into the screen showing children. So we were discussing evaporation method for the separation of soluble solid from a liquid solid mixture. Not insoluble. Insoluble solids cannot be separated by this method. It told you the meaning of evaporation, the change of state of a liquid into its vapor state. For example, when water is heated, water start changing into water vapor. The process of converting a liquid into its vapor state. Evaporation or vaporization also it is called. Anyway, here evaporation means changing of a liquid into its vapor state. Now, I'm reading the topic. Look into the diagram. Salt obtained from seawater by the evaporation process. Actually, this is large scale production of salt. Salt water, that is the seawater containing common salt, is allowed to evaporate in large fields where it is opened and the sunlight falls on it, the water evaporates and the salt collected after evaporating the water. So I'm reading it, just look into it. The process by which the liquid from a substance changes into its gas form is called evaporation. This method is used to separate a mixture that contains a soluble solid and liquid. The liquid component of the mixture evaporates while the solid component remains behind. Same thing is in this example also diagram. The solid, which is salt, remains whereas water evaporated and escaped. Heating increases the rate of evaporation. That is why the water containing salt is allowed to stand on the field in sunlight for few days. A mixture of common salt and water is separated by evaporation. Common salt is obtained from seawater by collecting it in shallow pans and allowing to evaporate. So this is how salt and water is separated in commercial manner also. Commercial means large scale. Now that is about how to separate a soluble solid from a liquid. Now suppose you want to separate salt and sand. Both are solids. It cannot be seen by hand picking, and we cannot do what we call this sieving process also, because the particles get mixed up. Now here we uses more than one method. So what we do really first the aim of the activity or aim of this purpose is to separate a mixture of salt and sand. Namak or रेत दोनों मिले हुए, we want to separate it. We can use two methods for separating them. So look into this activity that is showing how to separate a mixture of salt and sand. First aim, it is written, materials required salt and sand, filter paper, burner, beaker, conical flask, water. These are chemical laboratory apparatus. Take the mixture. In this case, we have used two methods. In this case, we have used two methods, one followed by the other. Take the mixture and dissolve, shake it well in a beaker. You see that the salt dissolves in it and the sand will remain now. Now, place the filter paper cone in a funnel and set the funnel on the conical flask. In the cone shape, the filter paper is kept in the funnel in such a manner as shown in the figure. Then the mixture containing salt, water, and the sand is dropped from a height without disturbing the sand too much. Now, pass the mixture to the filter paper. You see that all the sand is collected in the filter paper. Only the liquid particles containing salt dissolved in water allowed to pass through it. Now, salt and water, mixture of salt and water is collected as in this blue color, whereas the sand is collected in the what we call filter paper. Now next collect this blue water, then evaporate it. So we used filtration and evaporation. Evaporate this mixture. We observe that the water evaporates and salt remains. Now we separated sand and salt from sand and water mixture. So there are situations where we need to use more than one method. So according to the situation, we select the methods. So here filtration followed by evaporation to get the two solid mixtures separated. Now that's about evaporation. Now certain situations here in this case evaporation, what happened, the liquid component here was water, that is not needed, it is not needed, that is why you are allowing it to get escape. Suppose the liquid component is also expensive or important, or we need to collect the liquid component also after evaporation, then we use condensation. The condensation in scientific means, condensation means the opposite process of evaporation. Water vapor condenses to form water. That is a vapor. When it is allowed to cool, it forms the liquid back, this reverse process of evaporation. So evaporation, we need to get heated up the materials, liquid. But condensation, we need to cool down. So condensation is the reverse process. If you need to collect the liquid component also, then we go for condensation process also. So there is a simple activity to show how condensation is carried out to collect the liquid component. Also, it is what is condensation. The condensation, I'm reading it, the process by which the gas form of a substance changes into its liquid. This process is done by cooling, opposite of heating. Just example of condensation, you might have observed if you take water bottle from the refrigerator and keep it outside for a few minutes, you see tiny droplets of water on the surface of the water bottle. It is nothing but air containing water vapor. When it comes in contact with the cold surface of the water bottle, it condenses. Actually, in the air, the water vapor is present. We call it humidity. During the winter season and the summer season, the amount of water vapor is very less. Whereas in the monsoon season, too much humidity, we say amount of water vapor is too much in the atmosphere or air. So just look into this matter. When you take out a bottle of water from refrigerator, just now I told you, tiny drops of water appears on the bottle after some time. This happens because the water vapor present in the air condenses on the cool surface of the bottle and changes into drop of water. So we need to cool down the vapor. Then only we get the gas changes into liquid. So they're taking the activity. In the previous activity, we learned how to separate salt from their mixture, salt and water separately. If we need to, salt can be separated by simple evaporation, for example, seawater. But here it is, if the water is also an important or a expensive material, we need to collect that also. there we use condensation process. How condensation is carried out? There is a simple activity showing this. To separate water and common salt from their mixture, this activity, here we are going to collect the water also. Not only salt is collected. So first evaporation followed by condensation is carried out. That's a simple activity to make you understand this. So the materials required, some salt and water, a pan, a metal plate, some ice cubes, pair of tongs. Tongs means to collect the catch the material. A ball, a burner. Burner is for heating. The mixture is taken in a pan and heated over the burner. It's as usual. Then the evaporation starts. Place a few ice cubes over the plate. The plate, you put some ice cubes in the plate and keep it above the burner, above the burner, above the pan where the vapors coming out comes in contact with the cold surface of the plate. So that is place ice cubes over the plate. With the help of pair of tongs, hold the metal plate slightly above the pan. So what is the purpose? The water vapor coming, when it comes contact with the cold surface of the plate, it start condensing and forming as water droplets. This could be collected. Collect the water droplets dripping from the metal plate into a ball. So what we observed here, by cooling the vapor, we collect that liquid in the form of liquid itself. So this way, both these components are made, used. If it is useful, both has to be used together. So this process, we, I'm reading just observation. Water changes into steam through evaporation. The steam rises from the pan and condenses under the surface of the cold metal plate to form water drops, which are collected separately. Salt behind, left behind in the pan, water is collected in the ball. So this way, both these ingredients could be collected. This process involving evaporation followed by condensation. Soluble solid mixture, solid liquid mixture, soluble. First, we have seen simple evaporation is used where we need not to collect the liquid component. If you need to collect, we have to use first evaporation followed by condensation. Children, these two together we call it as distillation. These two processes involved together we call it as distillation. So distillation is the technique employed where the soluble solid can be separated, the liquid is allowed to evaporate, and by special setup, the liquid particles are allowed to condense and collected, whereas the solid particles remain in the distillating flask. This process involving evaporation and condensation together, we call it as distillation. In distillation, evaporation followed by condensation. There we need to collect the liquid as well as the solid component. So this is the separation of soluble solid from a liquid mixture. Now, next type of solid, next type of mixers, we have Children, next we have separation of mixtures. Next we have liquid mixtures. Liquid mixtures are of two types. One is soluble liquids, insoluble liquids. Soluble liquids, for example, water, alcohol. They put together, they mix each other and forming a single layer only. They are also called miscible liquids. MISCIBLE. Miscible liquids. Insoluble liquid, water, oil. Oil form an upper layer, oil being lighter than water. So they are called immiscible liquids. IMMISCIBLE. Immiscible means insoluble liquids. The lighter liquid means less denser liquid floats over the heavier liquid because due to gravity, the heavier liquid find a down layer. So this is the two types of liquid mixers. One is soluble liquid mixers. Two liquids mix each other, dissolve each other, and forming a single layer. Now, insoluble liquids, water plus oil, they are examples. Then any oil, cooking oil can be petrol, diesel, kerosene, all are lighter than water. It floats and water forms under layer because it is heavier and more denser. Immiscible liquids and miscible liquids. So we will discuss now the separation of immiscible and miscible liquids in detail. Okay, children, I am sharing the screen for 2 minutes. Wait for 2 minutes. Okay, children, have a look into this. Separation by using a separating funnel, separation of two immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids, where insoluble liquids, the liquids do not dissolve each other. So I told you water and oil. Here the example they are taken are activity just showing kerosene oil and water. Kerosene oil and water forming two different layers. Kerosene is lighter than water. So have a look into this diagram. First, see this device separating funnel is called. See, it is having a down narrow mouth and up also like this, and the shape of the vessel is like this, and having a stopcock. Look into this diagram. So the liquid mixture insoluble liquid mixture is taken in the separating funnel as shown in the figure. Now, the kerosene oil forming the upper layer followed by water down because water is heavier. Now I am reading it. This method is used to separate two immiscible liquids. It is based on the principle that immiscible liquids separate out in layers depending on their densities. I told you densities here means heavier and lighter. So now if you open the stopcock, you gradually drop by drop start dropping the water into the beaker containing below, and when the layer of the kerosene reaches, you stop the process of you stop the cork and the separating funnel, very simple method, separated the water and the oil. Here there is no much mechanism is involved. Simple method of difference in the densities or difference in the mass, difference in the densities. The heavier liquid under gravity forms a down layer. So this method is used for separating immiscible liquids. Immiscible means insoluble liquids. This is specially used for insoluble liquids only. There are some examples given. Applications of separating funnel separate technique is used for separation of oil and water. This is simple as it is shown. Then second, during extraction of iron, this you forget about it, you learn it in the higher classes, extraction of iron and all that. For the time being, you just have the idea of separation of immiscible liquids, that are insoluble liquid, by employing separating funnel. And immiscible liquids, if you look into that, two liquids which are insoluble to each other, and they can be separated by using the principle of difference in their densities. The heavier liquid forms under layer due to gravity, whereas the lighter liquid form upper layer. Using the special device, open the stopcock, gradually drop by drop, collect the heavy liquid. When the layer of the heavy liquid stops, finishes, close the top stopcock and the two liquids are separated. So this is exclusively used for immiscible liquids only. Now, soluble liquids we will discuss in the next class. Okay, children? So have a nice day ahead. Stay safe. Start learning and continue learning process. Don't stop learning, because these circumstances you need to continue your learning process. Anyway, this chapter is of separation of mixers, revision, and having introduction. We will discuss the real chapter later when the school reopens or after the summer holidays. We are supposed to start with the real topic. This is a revision containing the previous knowledge related to the topic separation of mixers. I have to discuss one more topic, soluble solids, that we will discuss in the next class. So go through this video and mark your attendance also. Okay, children. Have a nice day ahead. I'm stopping the class today. Thank you.